Hi there, it's Wade T. Lightheart again for CaptainWaterIonizer.com. And today we're going to go a little bit deeper into some of the questions that come up about what's all the hype between mesh technology versus solid plate technology, because there seems to be a lot of confusion out there by people who are misinformed or misleading the public about what creates Kangen water and what doesn't. Kangen water is a trademark registered, and what it represents is microclustered, high pH, negatively charged or ionized water. Now, you can get a high pH water using a variety of things. You could add potassium cyanide into the water and get a high pH water. That wouldn't be Kangen water. In fact, that water would kill you, so I don't recommend it. Also, you can get an ionized water that has an electrical charge. That does not mean it's Kangen water. Kangen water requires all three components. Now, the one part about this that is a very important thing to recognize is in order to microcluster water, the number one water researcher in the world is a fellow by the name of Dr. Mu-Shik Zon. And he wrote a book called The Water Puzzle in the Hexagonal Key. And the amount of current flowing into the machine determines how much of this microclustered water actually occurs. And that's a part of the restructuring that most people have yet to fully grasp. In other words, the amount of current going into the machine will break up the normal bonds of water, which might come to 15 to 20 bonds, down to a 5 or 6 or microclustered. This means the water penetrates better into the cell, and that has to deal with things like osmotic pressure and how the water goes into the cell. We won't get into the details of that in this thing, but we're going to talk about why the plates affect this result. You see, in the Japanese hospitals, they use solid plate technology. These are huge machines that are dealing on a commercial issue. Now, the cost of those would be much too high for most people to produce in home. So what was developed was small household units. The challenge was, in 1982, bringing this technology into North America. That's when the first mesh technology came here. And they used mesh technology because you could reduce the cost dramatically. The funny thing about that is they were not producing the same results as the Kangen water that you saw on some of those videos, like the Japanese hospitals where they're treating all sorts of illnesses. And here's why. You see, with the Enagic unit, you're looking at a solid plate that allows 230 watts of continuous flow current. Okay? On mesh technology, if you put that type of current through the mesh plates, you would actually melt down the plates. And that's why they have automatic shutoffs put on the other machines. They're marketed as an advantage when actually they're a defect, and that's a whole other form of marketing. But so when you run this amount of current, you're able to break up more of these bonds and make a smaller microclustered water. The other component is performance over time. You see, with mesh technology, even with solid plate, you're going to get a certain amount of buildup of the mineral deposits on top of those plates. Now, with the Enagic unit, they have a self-cleaning system, automatic. They also have a citrus cleaner, which should be used about every 2 weeks in order to maintain the product quality. And also, periodically, I suggest people in hard water states should actually send their machine in, say, maybe once every couple years, in order to get a deep cleaning. The Enagic units actually can be taken apart and cleaned, and so that they operate at maximum efficiency. With the mesh technology, you can't do that. So 3, 4, 6 months down the road, not only are you not producing Kangen water or the microclustered water, but you're also going to get buildup in there, and your machine is going to fail, and you're not ionizing the water ever. And that's why I believe that water ionization technology never really caught on in North America until Enagic entered the market back in 2003. And really, that's only started to take off in 2006. As people get more and more sophisticated, they're understanding that why solid plate technology is far superior for durability and performance, and to actually produce the water that we're talking about, which is Kangen water. Everyone else that is trying to say that they're producing that is actually misinforming you. And I believe it's out of good nature. They probably don't know the difference or have done the research of sophistication. In fact, Dr. David Carpenter has actually gone through 7 different machines that he's taken apart and used until he was able to produce the kind of water that they were producing in Japan, which is indeed Kangen water. And so if you're looking for the best quality product over a longer period of time, always choose solid plate technology. That's Wade T. Lightheart at WaterIonizer.com. Be sure to stop by and submit any of your questions, and we'll answer them for you. Thank you.